Who is John Robbie? I don't know who John Robbie is. I think he's a 21-year-old who's in a 59-year-old body, who's doing the best he can in life, lucky with a fabulous family, lucky to have a wonderful company to work with, and somebody who basically wants to try and make a difference. But who he is, I'm not quite sure. What was my career path? Well, I went to a very, very good high school in Ireland, High School Dublin. I went to Trinity College Dublin. I studied natural sciences. I wanted to be a geologist, but again, because of my love of rugby, I couldn't be away. So I ended up doing geography, economic geography, with a view to planning. I went to Cambridge University to do a master's, which sadly I never finished, the biggest regret of my life for various reasons, in a discipline called land economy. So it was very much based on the land, very much based on geography. I got a job working for Guinness's as a graduate trainee after that. I lost my job in Guinness's because I came here to play rugby many, many years ago. Controversial decision, stupid thing to do, but it's led to the most exciting time in my life. I got a rugby job here working in sales with an engineering company, and then sort of got in at the very, very bottom level of 702. So I've had very, very few employers in my time. I sort of like working in a company and working my way up with a company. And yeah, it sounds like I just fell into everything. But at every stage, I got the pros and cons. I looked at the facts, and my instinct told me whether to go for it or not. And I think I've made more right decisions than wrong ones. When I came to this country many years ago now, in fact, it's 29 years ago that I've been at this company. I was a 702 listener, and I was involved in a different career. Really, a job just allowed me to play rugby, which was my passion. And then I got the chance to do part-time reports on sport at 702 to get my toe in the door, and I think instinct told me this is something that could lead to something. So just to be on 702 was a great honor. And then when I became full-time and then started to see a career path, talk radio suited me, and yeah, I've been doing it for 29 years. I was passionate about rugby, which was absolutely my passion in those days. I was a very good player without being a great player, but I wanted to play international rugby, and that was really my whole life, was rugby. Fell into various jobs, but my passion was rugby. And of course, rugby was amateur in those days, so you couldn't make a career of it. And I sort of got into radio and have ended up having a second career, a second passion. So I think I was a little bit lucky. Obviously, there was thought that went behind it, but I think my motto has always been get as much information as you can when you've got to make a decision, and then go with your guts. And I went with my guts, made some daft decisions, but luckily I've ended up doing okay. What are the pros and cons of my job now? Well, the cons are that I get up at 2:10 every morning, which is an insane thing to do. I didn't always look like this. I used to look quite good looking. Now this is a weather-beaten face. It's a face only a mother could love. But the beauty is that being part of this incredible new country, and it still is a new country, with so many problems, but also so many inspirational people and inspirational stories. And to have a platform like this, I think, is somewhere where you can bring that out. Not duck the bad stuff, but you can also make a difference in terms of bringing about some sort of constructive change. You also meet the most incredible people, and no day is ever the same. Qualifications is very important. I think that this is a far greater issue than people think. I mean, if you think about it, in my generation, you were told to get a profession behind you, get information, be qualified so you have got a level of expertise. But as somebody said, Google knows everything now. So I think that just knowledge is not so important looking ahead. And more people are looking for creativity. And funnily enough, I raised this on the radio, and one of the top HR people from one of the major banks said, we now employ people from the arts. We can get all the information from computers. Obviously, you've got to have people to work them, but creativity is the thing to go for. And I think that that's what we should be encouraging kids to do. Obviously, you go with your passion. You do what you want to do. If there's a direct career path, go with it. But otherwise, I think we need to absolutely inspire creativity. That's what I would be telling my kids. what opportunities does 702 have relevant to rough diamonds in South Africa? Well, first of all, we're about information. We give information. We're a current affairs radio station. So I think that we would give advice, we would inspire, we would talk to people. I mean, that's what we do. We talk to people, and where possible, we're always looking to be optimistic. We're looking to be constructive. We're looking to help people. And obviously there are massive problems about youth education, employment, health, whatever. So our first job is in terms of the information. The second one, of course, is as an employer in the country. I think that there are jobs not just on radio. There's jobs behind radio. There's jobs selling radio. There's jobs putting radio on air. There are so many jobs available in the media. And also I think that without being immodest, I think that we set incredibly high standards, and there's also an inspirational side on 702. I think people can learn a lot from 702. But again, until you come into a place like this, you don't quite know what's involved. There's a wonderful spirit in this company. It's always been there, and I think it's a model for many companies. But anything we can do to help, particularly regarding employment and inspiration, well, that's what we do. What would I give kids advice about careers? Well, I suppose having had so many varied careers and ups and downs, I may be the last person to do with it. The first thing I would say is that the first prize is if you have a passion. If you have a passion in life, go for it. If you want to arrange flowers, go for it. If you want to be an artist, go for it. If you want to be a singer, go for it. Have a passion, you go for it. Never die wondering, because if you can turn your passion into a career, then you'll never work in your life. Then that's first prize. If you haven't, I think the most important thing is to experiment, to try things, to meet people, to ask questions. So many people throw careers around and don't actually know what they do. How many people know what a lawyer actually does day to day? You've got to have a very particular brain to do that type of work. So find things to do, get work, get experiment, dig a garden, go out, sweep the streets, get a job, become a salesman. Selling something is the greatest preparation for so many careers. And then I think make a decision. If you haven't got that passion, then I would say do something general. Get a business degree, get whatever, something that keeps you in the hunt, and then look for those opportunities. And you get the opportunities not by sending out CVs, you get it by meeting people and impressing people and them impressing you. So keep your mind open.